Oh, hello Year 10. Welcome to our second lesson on percentages, which will be, the title will be percentage increase and decrease. Okay, I set you yesterday's lesson. I set you this work on percentages and I got lots of lovely answers in, lots of you getting most of it right. And what I'm going to do now is just go through the answers for those of you who struggled with this. So 10% of 40 is 400 divided by 10. So you get 40 centimetres. Remember, 10% you divide by 10. Okay, here we need to work out 10% first. So 10% of 60 will be 6. And then we need to half that to get 5%. So 5% will be 3 kilograms. Okay, next question. To get 15%, we first of all work out 10%, divide by 10. And then we need to find 5%, which is half of 10. And then we add them together to get 15%. So the answer is £12. Well done to everyone putting their units in. Okay, question 4. Again, we always work out 10% first. So 10% will be 70. And to get 40%, we want 4 lots of 70. 4 lots of 10%, which will give me 280 grams. 20% of 3,000, we find 10%, divide by 10, and then double our answer to get 20%. So 20% will be £600. Okay, to work out 15%, we need to work out 10% and 5%, and then if we add those two together, we'll get 15%. 10% will equal 50. 5% is half of 10. Add 50 and 25, we will get 75 meters. 10% and 5% make 15%. Okay, question 7, getting really hard now, really tricky. To move this up a bit. We will always work out 10% first, then I'm going to find 30%, and then I'm going to find 5%. Then I'm going to put these two together to get my final answer. 10% would be 80. 30% will be 3 lots of 80. 5% will be half of 10%. Then I'm going to add these two together to get 35%. So my answer is 280 kilometres. And the last question, question 8, sorry it's a little bit bunched together here. My last question is I need to find 10%, I need to find 80%, and I need to find 5%. So just think about what you need to find first. All non-calculator work. 10% will be 200, divide by 10. 80% will be 8 lots of 200. 8 times 200. 5% will be half of 10%. And to get 85%, I add 80% plus 5%, and I get £1,700. Well done, I'm very impressed if you got that last question right. Okay, so make your corrections please to the work you did yesterday, and keep it all in one place, all in your book. Right, today's lesson, which is about percentage increase and decrease. Excuse me, while I just get this paper. Right, so you need to be experts at finding percentages without a calculator before you go on to this. So if you didn't do the first lesson on the video, which was all of this here, okay, I went through all of this. Go back on my video and make sure you understood everything that I set you in the last lesson. Right, increase £30 by 10%. So the key word here is increase, which means add, go up. So the first stage is we find 10%. We find 10% of £30. To find 10%, we divide by 10. Now, the cost has gone up by 10%. So it was originally £30, and now I'm adding my increase. I'm adding £3. So my total answer is £33. Okay, pause the video, have a go at doing this one. Increase £800 by 20%. 10% would be 80. 20% would be double. So I'm increasing this keyword, I'm increasing £800 by 160, my 20%. Add those two together and I'll get £960. Look at the way I'm setting this out, and when you send me your work for the learning check at the end of the video, please set it out the same way. Okay, last question on increasing. I'm going to increase £60 by 5%. So I need to find 10%, £6. I need to find 5%, half of 10%. I'm increasing 60 by 5%, so my answer is £63. Any problems, please email me if you don't understand any of this work. Right, now we're going to look at decreasing. So decreasing is exactly the same method as increasing, but decrease means just take it away, subtract. So to find this question here, I'm going to decrease £80 by 10%. For 10%, we divide by 10. So I'm going to decrease by 10%, I'm subtracting, so I get £72. And the whole thing should be done without a calculator, non-calculator work. Next question, decrease £500 by 30%. Okay, let's find 10%, divide by 10. Find 30% is times by 3. Okay, so I'm decreasing £500. I'm taking away £150. So my answer will be 350. Okay, have a go at this one. Pause the video and I will go through the solutions once you've had a go at doing it. Okay, well done. I'm sure you've got this answer correct. So now, but the problem with this question is it's hard to find 10% of £6 unless I change the £6 to 600 pennies. So 10% of 600 pence is 60p. It's much easier to work in pence than pounds. 5% will be half of 10%. Add these two together and I will get 15%. That's 90p. So I start off with my £6 and I'm subtracting 90 pence. Now be careful here because I need to have these in the same units. So my answer will be £5 and 10 pennies. Right, so I'm going to ask you now to have a go at doing these 6 questions, and then I will give you a learning check to send me the answers. Okay, pause the video, have a go at these questions please. Okay, well done. Let's look at these 6 answers then. Now the first 3 are all increase, the second 3 are all decrease. So let's look at these first 3. I'll start off with finding out 10%. So 10% will be 2. I'm increasing, so in my original, add my 10% will be 22. Okay, 10% would be 40. So 50% will be 5 times 40. Or we could have just halved this, couldn't we? 50% is just half of 400. So I'm adding on to my original, I'm adding on my 50%, so I get £600. Question 3. I want to find 80%, so find 10% first, times by 8 to get 80%. So 8 times 7 is 56, and I'm going to add 70, add 56 to get to £126. Right, now the next 3 are decreased questions, so let's just make sure we are decreasing, not increasing. 10% is 30, half of 10% is 5%. I'm decreasing, I'm going down by £15, so my answer will be £285. Right, 2 to go. I'm going to change my £8 to 800 pennies. I want 10% of 800 pennies, which will be 80p. I want 5%, which will be 40p. So add the 2 together, I'll get my 15%, 120 pennies, or £1.20. So I'm decreasing £1.20 from £8, and I will get £6.80. Last question, the hardest one here. Really well done if you got this one correct. So I want to find 35%. So these are the stages I'm going to do to find 35%. 10% divide by 10. 30% times 10% by 3. 5%, half of 10%. To get 35%, I add these 2 together. So I get this answer. Now I'm decreasing, and this is a harder sum, so I'm going to write it like this and show my subtraction. Okay, I'm going to borrow from the 5 and put it here. I'm going to borrow from the 10, put it here. And 0 take away 0 is 0, 10 take away 5 is 5, 9 take away 7 is 2, 4 take away 1 is 3. So that's my answer. Well done everybody, and I'm just going to pause the video for a second now so I can find you your learning check. Okay, Year 10. So well done for listening to this lesson today. Here is the learning check on this lesson. There are 6 questions on percentage increase and decrease. Please show your method when scanning or taking a photograph of your work and sending it to me, please. I look forward to seeing your answers, and I will give you marks for how well you've done. Okay, thank you Year 10. I hope you're all well. If there's any problems with you not being able to do the work, please email me. I look forward to your solutions. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.